about 5 minutes before I started recording this, I planned to do my Essendon review, my Dreamtime review, and I was filled with a lot of negativity, obviously, with the result that came our way. And yeah, I don't know. I had a whole on this screen next to me here. I got a whole thing of notes. Just I was going to run through and talk about the game, preparing. I was finally ready to do a review as well after the weekend. It sort of took me a bit to get over the loss, because it was so disappointing. And then my phone buzzes, it goes off. I have a look. There's a notification from SEN, and I read Damien Hardwick quits Richmond. And for me to say this was the least expected news I could have received was an understatement. It's honestly blown my mind, and it could be an over-exaggeration, but I'm sitting here speechless. Like, my partner was in the next room, and the way she heard me react, she genuinely thought something serious, this is serious, but she thought someone had died, and I said, feels like it. It's, look, this is what we know. Tom Morris has reported, that Dimma is going to quit. We don't know whether it's going to be effective immediately, if he'll coach another game, if he'll coach the rest of the year. We don't know. Those facts aren't out yet. It's believed that he hasn't told the playing group. I think it was a rostered day off for the players today, and he was planning on doing it tomorrow, which I do have an issue with there. If that's the case and the players don't know, I mean, you'd assume that maybe your senior players and your leaders might have known. But I think if you're a player and you find out your coach has quit due to an article, I don't know. It doesn't sit right with me. And I know it's a journalist's job to report the news and be the first one to get it out there. And so no knock on Tom Morris there, especially where he is in his career at the moment, trying to probably regain his status after what happened last year and all that. So I don't blame him for doing it. I'm not angry. I'm not upset with him for doing it, but it still doesn't sit right with me. I just think, especially a coach like Dimma, like how influential has he been to not only us as a football club, but the game as well. I mean, the game style he implemented, we're still seeing dominate the game today. Craig McRae came from Richmond under Dimma. No coincidence. He goes to Collingwood. They're playing a very similar style of football that we played, and they're probably the best team in the comp right now. So his influence on the game has been massive. And to sit here and talk to you now about him potentially quitting as soon as tomorrow is blown my mind. It's upset me because there's so much speculation around it, and no one knows the real reason. I've heard rumors that he's taking a year off because then he's going to go coach the Suns. Because Stuart Duke will be up. Does he go to Port Adelaide? Is Ken Hinkley gone? I mean, they're playing really good footy at the moment, so you wouldn't imagine so. But is Richmond kicked him out? Have Richmond given him the boot? There's so much speculation. No one really knows, and until we see something from the club or from Dimma, we're never going to truly know what's happening. But in saying that, you can't imagine Tom Morris, like I said, especially with where he is in his career at the moment, you're not going to drop a news article or a story this big and not know 110% that what you're saying is correct. Now, look, I'm hoping, personally, I'm really hoping that he is wrong. I don't want to see Dimma go. Not like this. It's just not the fairy tale he deserves. Not saying he necessarily needs to finish on a flag, but, not just call it effective immediately and that's it, see you later. He deserves to at least finish off the season, maybe say, look, I have had enough. I've coached for 10, 12 years, whatever it is now. I think I've done my part, and I don't have the passion for it anymore. Whatever it is, that's fine. But I think to just call it on the spot, it just, the club's in an interesting enough spot at the moment where we can't win some, games that we should be winning, and no one really knows where we're at. We come out every week, and honestly, at this point, I don't know what kind of football I'm expecting to see. And, it's a really interesting spot as a club to now have this, where Dimma quits potentially, and we don't know who's going to coach. Does Truck come in and coach? It's probably the obvious choice. He's, had the senior head coach experience and all that. So to fill in as the interim would make sense. But then, who's out there in the market that Richmond brings in as your full-time coach? I don't know. And I haven't really had a chance to think about any of these things. Like I said, the news dropped, according to 43 minutes ago, according to SCN, the news dropped. So it's bizarre. And I'm trying to read some of the stats here now to see what potential, with stuff I might have missed. Hardwick's resignation could set off a chain of events around the country, with Stuart Dew's position at the Gold Coast Suns not secure despite holding a contract for 2024. And again, that's one of the rumors I mentioned. People think that he's potentially going to do that, and I'm shocked. I'm really shocked. I apologize there's not going to be an Essendon review video, but I think this kind of takes the cake. I think we all know how we feel about the Essendon game. I don't need to talk about it too much. Yeah, jeez. Oh, I don't know. I'm flabbergasted. It's just like, if we had a beaten Essendon, does this happen? Like, was the Essendon loss the final straw? I don't know. And I feel like if the players knew, surely you put in a better performance than they did against the Bombers. Like, surely there's that drive to, you know what, let's get one more win for him. Like, so that's what makes me think they didn't know. It's hard to say. I've got no idea. And it feels weird. I'm pretty much talking to myself right now, but it's just, I'm trying to, everything's going through my mind at the moment. It's ticking over. I'm trying to think of possibilities and reasons and what might be happening. Obviously, Morris said that he believes that it's, where is it here? He said something along the lines of he thinks he's just sort of worn out, like he's had enough. And I get that. Like, he's been around for so long. He's won his flags. The club's sort of on a bit of a decline at the moment. We're not going the way probably expected or hoped for. But I don't know. I just feel like someone like him is more resilient than that. So that's what makes me think there's definitely more to the story. I'm not going to speculate because I've got no idea. I'm just spitballing here. So I don't know. That's pretty much all I've got. When we hear more news and we've got more facts, I'll do another video on that, no doubt. But this is just a quick one to get out there and just, let you know my thoughts on the alleged news. I'm hoping it's not true. I'd love to see Dimma continue coaching. I guess when you see your coach win flags and the way that Dimma's been around the club, you just kind of expected him to be there forever. So obviously that was never going to happen. But to end like this would be really disappointing. And it's, this is a sad video to make. I didn't think I'd be making it today, and it's it's hit home a little bit. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I didn't enjoy recording this one. It's it is what it is. But look, I'll speak to you again either with the Port Adelaide preview video, or it'll be another video about Dimma. And if the facts are true, we'll be talking about that. So until then, see what you can dig up. Send me a few messages if you've heard anything, if you know any rumors that seem more likely than not. Everybody knows somebody, of course. So let me know what you guys think. But until then, speak soon and go Tigers.